I'm just going to do a quick video. Actually, it probably won't be that quick. My daughter will edit it for me because I am useless at doing anything like that, and I don't have any setup for any videoing. But I have done a few drawings recently when I've been to Northumberland and also to Scarborough on holiday. And I did take my birthday parcel to Scarborough with me, and everybody polled that they would like to see my sketchbook. So I am going to hopefully put a video out, even though this feels horrible. But hey ho, you live and learn. Okay, so I'm just going to swatch what I've bought, which these are the Faber-Castell Polychromos, black, light cobalt turquoise, and your Payne's grey. And like I said, I'm pretty sure I wanted them as Albrecht Dürer, but they must have slipped through the net. And then these are the Albrecht Dürer that I bought. And this one is your warm grey 4. I'll wet them in a second. This one is purple violet. I don't use much purple, but I'll try. This one's May green, which I have in the Faber-Castell markers. Dark sepia. What have I got here? India red. Chromium oxide green. This one's gorgeous olive green, yellowish. And so is this one, magenta. And like I said, these are just replacing the normal polychromos that I've given to Holly. So I'll move them out of the way. I'll just get some water for these. So go with May green. Beautiful. This one's the one I love. This one's the oxide green. India red. I'll save the magenta till last. Purple violet. This one's the warm grey 4. Sorry, I was interrupted by children wanting food. This one is the sepia, dark sepia, which is so nice. And then my favourite, oops, the magenta, which is just so beautiful and works so nice with that green. Okay, what else did I get? After that, I got, let me go back onto number 1, Pablo Carandash colours. I don't know how or why I got these. The colours are nice. They're not water soluble. Nope. What colour is that one? Golden ochre. Raspberry red. Brown. This one's nice. Fast orange. Khaki green. I think I was after some other colours, other pencils with these sort of colours, and they weren't in stock, so I just picked the nearest. And this one, Bordeaux red. They're actually nice colours, but I just can't remember why I got them. I will use them. I topped up my whole bag, so I have cherry blossom, very baby pink, jade green, what's this one, burgundy, and lastly this one is azalea, just scrumptious. And then that's the pencils that I got, and then I also got the 2 Pitt extra hard, and I've got extra soft because these can go over anything with them being oil based. What was that? That was the I much prefer the feel of the extra soft. It's nice and dark. Haven't had a chance to use them much yet, but I think I will. Okay, try not to do a video when there's so many people in the house. The other things I got were these pigment brush pens by Stadler, or however you say it. I really like these because they are not water soluble, and I've been using them as a base, well, certainly some of the colours as a base for panels. This is light peach. They're good if you're doing a small panel anyway, otherwise you're going to use too much coral. I've not used that as a base, that's too intense. This one is sand, it's kind of a bit darker, and light sand. And this one is red. So I've used this one as a background for some of my drawings, which I'll just get. This was done in Scarborough, which would be a couple of these ones here. In a second I'll move the camera and then show them in full. But I've really enjoyed using these because they don't, I can put anything on them and they don't water down or mix in with any of the other colours. So I really like them. I'm preferring them to Tombows at the moment. In fact, I'm almost thinking about selling all of my Tombow collection because I don't use them. And the other thing I bought was viewfinder. I didn't really use it, but I think when I go out a little bit more drawing in real life with April, I'll use that. And another thing I found, but this was not in my birthday haul, was this teeny weeny 2mm lead pencil sharpener. And I found this in a shop in Lancaster actually, can't remember the name. And it's dead small, and it works with 2mm lead in this pencil, mechanical pencil. And it just, well, obviously, hang on, pop it out a bit more, and you can sharpen it, which I love. Okay, so alongside that I did get some other little bits and bobs that weren't pencils. Let me just find, that's it. So I got this watercolour, Holbein watercolour in luminous red, because I do have the acrylic gouache, but I can't put it in my tiny palette when I go out, and I don't want to be carrying it around with me. Anyway, it lived up to expectations. It's just the same. Obviously I'm using it from the tube, don't know what it'll be like from dry, but impressed with that one. In fact, it is so small I could even take this out with me when I'm out and about drawing. So yeah, that was a good one. And then the second thing I got was acrylic gouache in rose. I'm feeling the pinks at the moment, which is again gorgeous, a little bit similar to that one down there, the magenta. Sorry, the light's so crap. I can show you it better. The beauty of living in the UK. And then I did get white, which I don't need to swatch. And the other thing I got was a couple more of the Derwent Intense sticks. This one I can't remember the name of it. 0900. So let's see, blue. Okay, let's see what that says. 0810 maybe. And then this one, which I used a lot on my holiday to Scarborough. This one is 0220. And I used them, well, the yellow one again, because when you've watered it down, because it's ink based or whatever, they you can put anything on it and it doesn't affect what's underneath. So I've been using that as panels. And I'll quickly show you what in a second. So let me zoom out a little. So this one, this is that as a base with the ink tents in the panel, and then I layered on top. So again, I'll show these in a minute. I'm sorry for this video being so jumpy, but I have 2 teenagers and a husband in the house watching cricket. I also got some more of this from Jackson's. I love this paper, but I got some more in the 4x6. I didn't use these on holiday. I just took my sketchbook out, and I also got 2 more paintbrushes because I use this size a lot, which I think, if I can get it out now. Yeah, the Pro Art brushes number 2 and the number 4. So yeah, I use these quite often when I'm at home anyway, at least. Right, so I think that should be it for my birthday swatches. I think I'll probably just go on to my sketchbooks. Okay, won't be long. Okay, sketchbook. I am literally holding my phone up because I am not advanced in any technology or anything. So I'm hoping this works. If not, anyway, it doesn't matter. So this is the start. This is one of the sketchbooks from Northumberland, and I do add Scarborough because when I was in Northumberland I did not fill it as much as I would have liked to. I also have a little one here which has got a few Northumberlands in there as well. So I'll probably start with a small one actually. Let's have a look. That's not Northumberland, that's just off a walk. This was a prep page, and that was done on Holy Island. It was freezing, so I just really wanted to get some pen down. I hated it. It was so cold. Ignore that. A prepped page which I've not used. Had nothing to do with Northumberland. This was just what, when I got home, read things in my fridge. This is from a day out with my husband, and we went to Windermere, and we sat outside and I just sketched that. Again from Windermere. I'm sure there's some more Northumberland in here somewhere. Maybe not. Hang on. No, there isn't. This is Blackpool. Blackpool again. I just got interrupted again by my son saying thank you for his tea. Anyway, so this was an ink sketch which I did in Scarborough from a photograph in the end. I didn't do it, so it was far too busy. There's no chance, no cat and nails chance of sitting anywhere. But I did this with just my tiny things that I take out with me. I actually did this probably sat in Wetherspoons with the kids, having tea. And I used it with this pen, which is the one that Artie gave me in Northumberland. And I absolutely love it. It's the best food day pen I've ever had. So I did that, and just a couple of Ecoline pens. This one again is of Scarborough, just pen. This one, I actually did this from the bedroom in Scarborough. This was North Bay, and that was the view. Just did it with what I had in my pencil case, and actually I was sat in bed when I drew this. And this one, oh, this was just, this was the day out that we went to Peasouan Park. We went on a train ride, beach huts. I used the ink tents as the panel background on this one, and then just filled it in with what I had on me, which was again this pencil case and a couple of near colours. Not much in there really, hence the colours. So that's that. Okay, so we're kind of going to go back in time now, back to Northumberland. This is swatching. So Northumberland, so me, Artie and April went to Northumberland in April, right at the beginning. We went on a 3-night stay, which was brilliant. We did walking. It was a whistle-stop tour because Artie and April hadn't been before, but I'd been a million times. This was me working out what colours today take with me. Yeah, the weather can be grey, dull and wet, but we might get a nice weekend. Who knows? It was a bit of everything, but it was cold. I had to buy an extra fleece from the charity shop. This is me thinking out loud. Do I take acrylics as a base? I decided not to. I did some prep pages instead. I was happy with what I took though. Again, just some practicing. Just some sketching before we went. And again with the pens. Working out what was waterproof and what wasn't. This was a sketch before I went using Inktense sticks. I didn't like it. It still feels horrible. Yuck. Quick drawings before we go. And this was a prepped page. So this was done plein air on Holy Island, and I had my prepped page and it was just waiting for the perfect thing, which was all these little boats, and they kept moving. But it was good. Some stuff didn't work on the acrylic so well, but yeah, I'm happy with that sketch. And this one is the day before. This is Rothbury. So this was a little town there where we went to on the way up, and we had a picnic here, and we sat and drew on picnic benches. Again, I just used my watercolour, my mixed media palette. This one filled with gouache and a bit of watercolour. In fact, it was smaller than that. I bought a bigger one since then. And again, more Rothbury. Prepped page. And this is, again, Holy Island minus all the people. I'm not sure about prepping pages. Well, I am, but not with this, with acrylic, and which is what I've used. I just find it too sticky and stuff doesn't go on it. Again, yeah. Oh, there you go. I've made a note. Acrylic base, don't do. Okay, Rothbury again. This is people having a picnic, and they had really stinky salads. Could smell it all the way from our bench. Again, just a plain pencil sketch. This was in Rothbury again. We actually did this at night time. On the first night we got there, we had some time at home after our meal out just to sit and chill, so we just drew, which is what you do when you go on holiday with your arty friends. Again, a prep page and just a plain sketch. That's Alnwick Castle. Plein air, this is Almouth, which is my favourite place. Loved that. Standing up drawing is hard. Yes, it is. Lindisfarne again. Can't remember when I did that. I don't think I did it on the day. Maybe I did. Can't remember. Oh, this was good. This was sea houses. There was birds everywhere and they were moving, and we had to draw them. So it was quite difficult. They might have funny shapes, but it was really good fun because they wouldn't sit still, as birds don't. Craster. So this is another fishing village. I think we were quite tired by this point, so it was pretty basic, but we still managed to get out and still managed to draw. But yeah, I think we were all ready for a kip. I think these were afterwards. So again, this is Rothbury, this one here, and this is where we pulled up. Actually, this might have been from April, Monkey Mintaka, might have been from one of her live sessions on YouTube, possibly. But we all stopped and took a photograph of this view. Again, sea houses. I think I did this afterwards. Oh no, I can't have done. That's the 6th. No, I must have done this on the day. This must have been sat down. Yes, we went for a sit down. We went for a drink in a pub. that was good. That's filling time. This one is Almouth again. All the houses looking really cute over all the sand dunes. Right, so this is when I got back. Hang on, let me get to other sketchbooks. Okay, I'm zooming out a lot now. We went to the Old School Gallery in Almouth, which I believe is closing down soon, but they sell pith sketchbooks, and although I didn't intend on taking anything so big, I couldn't resist buying the Oro Blanco when I was there, and actually I really enjoyed having something bigger. So one day we went to Bamburgh, and we went down to the beach, and we sat in the sand dunes, and then I drew the castle, or painted the castle. So this is my sketchbook for Bamburgh. I love this view. And this one, we sat on a bench in Bamburgh Village, and again we just painted what we saw. I really like the mix of the traffic signs and how quaint the village is. Just really pretty. And this one is from Craster, and it's the view towards Dunstable Castle. A couple of sheep. There's lots of cows normally in here as well, which I hate. I hate walking near cows, but that was really nice as well. And I was really glad that I took the big sketchbook, because you can really get a feel for the view. Okay, I'll go back to the small sketchbook. Hello. Okay, small sketchbook. This is done after we got home, and I just thought I'd do something a little bit fun. I got my paints out. I used everything really. I wasn't bothered, but I really like that. It was quite good fun. And then I did another one. This was from one of the photographs that I took when I was there. I loved all these big boys. Yeah, that's Linda's fan castle, obviously in the background. I really enjoyed doing that, just splodging paint everywhere. And then I book Scarborough. So then I'm looking at, again, swatching, which is my favourite thing to do. I started panels for some more Northumberland sketches. I haven't finished them, probably won't. And then we get to Scarborough. So we had a gorgeous house right on the castle, on the peninsula, so we could see, this was the view from the living room side of the house, so the front of the house. You've got the South Bay here, the sea and a church. Then at the back of the house, this is from the back garden, you've got the North Bay, which looked down really high. It's gorgeous. And then this was, again, a panels page. This is where I used the yellow ink tents as the base. I didn't do any of this plein air, I just did it when I got home off my photographs that I'd taken, because we spent most of the time back in the house at night time. So it's basically everything I took with me is just on here, but I love the yellow tone underneath. I was really happy with that. So I thought, well, what else can I do? And I decided to do a pink undertone, which I hated. Here we go. Horrible, garish. I don't know why, unless it just didn't suit or what else I took with it. Didn't like it at all. So this is our day trip to York that we got the train. Got your Minster, the cool pub type thing. Betty's tea room. Just hated the pink. I couldn't wait to get this finished. But hey ho, I moved on. The next day we took a day trip to Whitby. So we went on the bus, and Whitby is obviously famous for its jet and links to Dracula. This was great. They had a puppet, a guy playing a puppet, Whitby Abbey. This was the view from the 199 steps, sorry. Going back down after we'd been up. They do some pirate ship trips, and I caught this on a photograph, so it's just perfect timing. And then you've got your boats. So I really love this yellow undertone. It's just, I'll probably use it a lot actually, I think, now going forward. I think I've found my perfect colours. And then this one, I did use the yellow undertone, but I used that Staedtler ink pen, which was good, but it took ages to lay the panels down. So I am thinking of getting some Derwent Inktense paint pans, the palette, and then I can just mix my own base layer underneath if I'm going to do some panels. for future, because I like the fact that I've got a colour underneath and then I can paint on top. So this was, we did a treasure trail. We did 2 in Scarborough, dragged the kids. They loved it, not. And then, yep, we went to the castle. This was actually out of order on this day. We would have liked to have gone there. This was from the church, just opposite our house, where we could walk down to the sea. Took 3.5 minutes. Again, view of roofs, lovely boat. And then this is a knob-haired seagull, who they're just nemesis on holiday, aren't they? And it just kept trying to eat our bacon sandwich. Anyway, this leads me on to the last page of sketches that I've done for Scarborough. And this is where I tell a story of how I got attacked by a seagull. So, me and Holly walking along, eating, well actually no, we weren't eating anything. I thought, oh, we'll go and get some cockles, because I love cockles. It's the sea, you can't go on holiday without having cockles. So I got my cockles, put my salt and vinegar on them, walked off, and absolutely blissfully unaware that behind me was a massive seagull approaching, and it crashed into my head basically. Luckily I did not relinquish my cockles to a seagull. I kept them because I love cockles, and I hid them in my bag and then had to go and find a quiet place to eat them out of my bag. But seagulls, they remain my nemesis. Wah. Anyway, I think that's probably it. I don't think there's anything else. I might do a painting and then film that, but I might not. Okay, anyway, thanks for listening if this is when I'm going. Bye. Hello, I realised at the end I should really have said, if you know me at all, I think I've done well. Please leave a comment and a thumbs up, and if you would like to follow me on Instagram, I am on there as Mandy Dixon Draws. Thanks guys.